Hey everyone. So I would like to talk about how we found out about my vision loss. I feel like I talk somewhat about it in my videos, but I never actually explained how I actually lost my vision. So, as some of you may know, I am adopted from Guatemala. I was adopted at 10 months old. And I have amazing parents here. They are great. I'm so thankful for them, first of all. But anyway, back to my vision story. Growing up, when I was younger, pretty much a baby, my parents would know that I wasn't seeing things because I didn't, when I was eating, I'd be so up close to my food or I wouldn't see like a cat on a white floor or something. So just small things, they were noticing that I was just doing different. And so of course as any good parent would do, they brought me to doctors. And at the time, background story, my mom was going to school for occupational therapy. So that's how she knew a little bit, So going to eye doctors and just regular doctors were telling pretty much more my mom, because she was the one that would bring me to eye doctors because my dad was working. They were telling her that she was just looking for something because, at the time she was going to school. So my mom's a very great advocate for people with disabilities. So as my mom was being told, my mom knew that there was something not wrong with me, but something was going on with me and that I'm not seeing like everyone else. So throughout my years, I've been to so many eye doctors. At one point, I was patched because my left eye, I don't know the actual medical term for it, but I did have a lazy eye. So they patched my right eye. So at one point, and I also had glasses at the time. And so they were patching my right eye and to try to make my left eye stronger. Well, so I'm probably walking around completely blind, almost, because they're covering one and the other one's just not working it. So, and I hated being patched. I just didn't want to be different than the other kids at the time. So, and I just felt embarrassed about glasses, but all they could do was prescribe me glasses and that's it. As I said, I've been to so many eye doctors. And then finally, I don't know, someone recommended this eye doctor. And went to this eye doctor, did the exam, and then he asked if I ever had a peripheral vision field test. And my parents said no. So they did the test. It came out really bad. I don't really remember how bad it was, but it came out bad. And that sparked flags for the doctor. So he immediately got me into CHOP and Robert Wood Johnson and in Philadelphia and New Jersey. So I was going to all these doctors, being poked and prodded and tested and everything for what could be going on. Why is my vision like this? The doctors, I don't remember which hospital it was, but my parents were told that either I had a brain tumor, I had retinitis pigmentosa, or I had strokes. So through all the testing and everything, they found out that I had 3 strokes. So 2 strokes on my occipital lobes and 1 stroke on my temporal parietal lobe. So that's what has caused my vision loss. So out of all that, my parents finding out, they were just like, oh my God, their own reactions to it. I was kind of young, still young at the time, so I guess I don't know. I have no full reaction to it, but doctors were talking to my parents and really not me because I was a minor. So yeah. I have some effects from my stroke besides my eyesight. But I guess out of all those other two diagnoses, strokes were the best outcome. I guess, I don't really know, but yeah, that's just what was in the cards for me. So normally people who I have met, and when you find out someone's blind or legally blind, they have some type of eye disease or something along like with the retina or anything of that. So for me, I don't actually have anything physically wrong with my eyes. It's my brain. It's just something that got damaged. So I don't really have like an eye disease or physical eye condition until like later in life, and that is for a different story. But yeah, anyway, so for people who don't know, not typical peripheral vision, you have like 180 degrees, so you kind of see more like this, and like you can see out here, which I can't see. I can't see that way. I can't see below. I can't see above. I can't see here. So I pretty much see like this. I think at the time I was at 20%, so, I was right on the border of being, like, legally blind. But my acuity at the time was, like, 20, 25, 20, 30. So I actually had pretty good acuity, but I'm only seeing in, like, this little circle. So everything's like this. Usually I describe it as, like, if you look through wrapping paper holder. And I now know that my vision is more on a diagonal. Not that I see on a diagonal, but that's just the way how the eye tests come out now. So yeah. So that's just a little bit about how I initially lost my vision. I am going to have another story on how I lost all of my vision and then regained it back. And yeah, so that will be for another video. All right, thank you.